Once you have your answer and the content you want to present, you must decide how you will physically communicate and present this information to an audience. There are different ways that you can present your information. PowerPoint is always the favorite, but there are other tools that you can use as well, such as Prezi, Visme, Keynote, or simply using the class whiteboard or document reader. Regardless of which method you choose, it is important to remember that the tool you use here is to support your presentation. This means you should not copy every word from your speech into your PowerPoint slides. Rather, use point forms and visual aids like pictures, tables, or timelines to simplify the information and to engage the audience's attention. To illustrate this, let's use the case from our last video to show you how to structure and prepare a PowerPoint presentation. The first slide of your PowerPoint presentation should be used to introduce yourself and your team, as well as the topic or question you'll be presenting. Once you have introduced yourself and have the audience's attention, it is time to set up the case you will be talking about. This is what we call the background slide. When preparing the slide, and all your slides really, it is important to consider how the audience will see and feel about the way you present the information. Avoid showing too much text or written content that will overwhelm or distract the audience. Avoid using small font that the audience will have difficulty reading. And avoid using a boring format like this. Try to present the information in a more engaging way to help the audience visualize the case and maintain their attention. How can you do this? Use bullet points and highlight the parts of the text which represent the key information. This corresponds to step 1 of the IRAC process, which focuses on identifying the key case facts. You can also add images to your slides to support the key events in the case. This is something simple that can help make your presentation slides easier to follow. This can be even further improved by presenting the case information in a more interesting or creative way, such as through a flowchart, table, or graph, rather than just using plain text. In the Trendy and Diego case, the dates were really important in answering the question, so using a timeline would work really well to visually show the audience the order of events and key dates in the story. A timeline such as this can effectively provide the audience with an overview of the case and help them easily follow your presentation, which is exactly what you want. Once you have set up the case, identified the key facts, and read the questions, it is time to refer to step 2 of IRAC process, the relevant rule and standards that relate to the case. This will guide us in answering the question. As we said in our last video, AASB 15 is the accounting standard that covers revenue recognition and therefore provides the guidelines needed in this case. Now remember, when showing this information, you must consider the audience's perspective and think about the best way to visually present these rules. Avoid showing the entire standard or entire paragraph if it's overly wordy. Instead, focus on presenting the key, specific sections of the rules that relate to your case. An option is to simply highlight or bold the sections you want the audience to focus on, like this. This brings us to the application and conclusion steps of IRAC process, where you link the rules to the case facts. An effective way to show this is to connect the question to the relevant rule, and then to the answer. In this case, we could show the rule underneath the timeline and use an animated arrow to clearly show the link between this rule and then the right date on the timeline. See how this visually shows the connection between the conclusion and the original timeline? This method offers the audience a clear picture of what the key elements were in the case. the relevant rule needed to address the question, how the rule was applied, and the conclusion reached as a result. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you effectively prepare and present an answer in a PowerPoint presentation in a way that engages the audience and presents the information in an interesting and effective way. We really hope you found this helpful. All the best and happy presenting.